a number of years ago?
We stayed out here for 90 days.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from Pincher Creek, Alberta.
Pincher Creek, Alberta.
Yeah,
And how many times have you come back here?
this is the first.
First time.
Yeah.
So there's a number of you guys that are here for the first time in 66, 67 years.
7 years.
Unbelievable.
Well, we had to make a living. We got some.
True enough.
Finally got enough money to get a ticket over.
Well done, you. And you got a few people along with you, it looks like.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic. It's a real honor to meet you, sir. Enjoy your day. Take care.
Eternal Father, strong to save, your almighty hands have bound the restless waves of time and tyranny and turmoil. In the quiet of this moment, surrounded by both the visible reminders of the cost of freedom, of the many who made the ultimate sacrifice, and in the presence of these veterans of the Italian and other campaigns who continue to make our world a better place, we offer our humble gratitude for them. Accept our thanks. We ask this in your name. Amen.
This is one of the last opportunities that these people will have to be with you. I think we know what I'm talking about.
Where are they going?
Today, around the world, and in towns and cities at home, Americans and their allies will gather to stand silently at the final resting places of so many of our countrymen who heeded their nation's call to arms. Sometime during my first year here, when the effects of the war were still palpable in this land, my father brought me down to this place, and I will always remember looking out over these 7,800 graves and trying to comprehend in my young mind the enormity of what this place means. Each one of these brave people sacrificed so that people unknown to them could live in freedom, free from tyranny. Each headstone also stands as a silent witness to the pain and loss suffered by those at home who gave their loved ones to this epic struggle, those mothers, fathers, wives, and children, who, as Abraham Lincoln once said, laid so costly a sacrifice upon the altar of freedom.
The story is amazing because when he came up on the hilltop of the defense, I told him, you have to clean up. It was still canteen because sometimes they scratched the names on, and we read the name Cuddy, and I said to him, I know already this name. I don't know why, but I remember this name. And when I was home, has been very easy to find this name because Caddy is reported in a caption of a picture taken in the Samukro area, and there is the Lieutenant Caddy leading this platoon is on a mule track crossing beside a stone house, typical stone house of central Italy. I read about his very unlucky death because he was very courageous. He was checking the positions left by the Germans. Immediately I realized that this is the perfect behavior of an officer. The best thing an officer has to do, as I remember from my army, is to take care of his men.
Is this where the 3rd Regiment was?
Yeah, this is where my father was killed.
My name is Charles Scoggin. I am the son of Charles R. Scoggin, who was a member of the 1st Special Service Force and was killed at Anzio on February the 2nd, 1944.
So he was checking these positions of trenches left by the Germans. He was doing something for his men. And unfortunately, the Germans left wooded traps and other kind of traps.
Looks like my dad was already out here.
Very unlucky tragedy, but I can realize how he was courageous and how the other 2 lieutenants were courageous at the same.
The day will inevitably come when none who visit will remember the names or faces of the men who lie here, or remember firsthand their deeds. But we gather here each year to pledge that we, as a nation, as a people, will never forget what they gave to the world. Both American and Italian veterans of the Italian campaign are with us here this morning. I would like to urge each of you to take some time to talk to these amazing men. Listen to their stories, look into their eyes, and imagine them as they were then, young in body and mind, far from home, afraid, yet resolute.
Ladies and gentlemen, I speak to you here today as a combat veteran, American combat veteran of World War II. I believe to be born free is a privilege, but to die free is an awesome responsibility. Now, this Memorial Day, 31st of May, 2010, I stand here before you. My mind goes back to the scenes of 66 years ago. Those scenes of war and destruction make me realize even more the high cost in lives and human suffering that was paid for our freedom that we enjoy today. And now each time I visit this beautiful memorial building with over 3,000 names of those missing engraved on the marble walls, I'm reminded again of the high cost of today's freedom. As America's millions of war veterans fast disappear from society's landscape, there are fewer and fewer standard bearers left to carry the torch of remembrance. Such traditions will only live if there is a vibrant movement to which that torch can be passed. Today we say to our departed comrades, those who died in defense of our countries, the freedom for which you sacrificed your lives still shine brightly on our nation's flags, and you will continue to be honored and remembered by your countries. You will always have a special place in the hearts and minds of each of us who struggled alongside you in the fields of battle. We shall treasure your memory forever. Ladies and gentlemen, I am humbled by having had this opportunity to speak to you here today. May God bless each of you. May God continue to bless America. Thank you.
When I think to that action and that killing, I always underline to myself that there were Americans and Canadians together, 3 officers. the forces was a North American unit, was the first example of an international unit, first example of a peacekeeping operation, because we can have our personal opinions on the war and on the Second World War, but actually I'm Italian, so I know that my country owed so much and became something else after the war.